Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Napoleon Hill. These are not just poetic words. They are a battle cry, a divine challenge to every excuse you've ever made, every fear you've ever entertained, and every limit you've ever accepted. Hill wasn't speaking in theory. He was revealing the most powerful truth buried within you. Your belief has the power to build or destroy your destiny. So why do so many of us feel paralyzed? Why do we sit on dreams while fear whispers, "You're not ready. You're not enough. You'll fail"? These voices aren't just random thoughts. They're the six ghosts of Fear Hill warned us about. Fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, fear of death. These ghosts don't knock. They creep. They crawl into your mind and steal your momentum while you wait for the perfect time. But let me tell you the truth Hill learned after studying over 500 of the most successful people in history. There is no perfect time. There is only now. You think you need more motivation. You don't. What you need is movement. Because motivation doesn't come before action. It comes because of it. Hill gave us the weapon. Autosuggestion. Not wishful thinking, but intentional, repeated declarations that rewire the subconscious and reclaim control from fear. You must speak power into your mind before the world ever sees your results. He lived it. Born into poverty, surrounded by reasons to quit, he moved anyway. He believed anyway. And through that belief, he proved progress doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most determined. So let me ask you, what are you still waiting for? Remember Andrew Carnegie, who Hill admired. He didn't wait for certainty. He plunged into his ideas, building an empire despite the risks. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you were waiting for the perfect moment? This is the trap of the subconscious mind, as Hill described, where indecision breeds more fear and less progress. Another barrier is the failure to decide, lacking that definite major purpose that Hill deemed essential for success. Without a clear decision, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly while life passes you by. Hill observed in figures like Thomas Edison that true achievers didn't waver. They chose a path and stuck to it, turning ideas into groundbreaking inventions. And then there's fear and uncertainty, those self-imposed limits that Hill dissected in his writings on negative autosuggestion. We've all felt that knot in our stomach, that voice saying, "What if I fail?" But Hill taught that it's not the fear itself that stops us, it's how we respond. By confronting these fears head-on, you can transform them into fuel for growth, just as Hill advised. The solution lies in taking immediate action, even if it's imperfect, because that's how you build the belief that anything is possible. Hill's principle of applied faith emphasizes that one small step creates momentum, like a snowball rolling downhill. Try his 30-day mental diet. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones while you act, and watch how your confidence grows. Just as Hill's mastermind concept shows, collaborating and moving forward amplifies your belief and turns solo efforts into shared triumphs. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Create it through energy and decisiveness, as Hill did when he committed to his interviews. Strengthening your decisiveness is key. Make firm decisions and review them daily, following Hill's routines to build that definite aim. Hill discovered that successful people like Henry Ford practiced decisiveness until it became a habit, turning hesitation into habitual progress. Start by practicing the first step. Identify one goal and take a quick action, like emailing a mentor or jotting down an idea. This simple act, as Hill would say, is your going the extra mile, proving to yourself that belief follows bold moves. Remember, immediate action dissolves the fog of doubt and lights the path ahead. To overcome hesitation and fear, face them head on, just as Hill recommended through repeated exposure and transmuting fear into faith. Imagine fear as a shadow that shrinks in the light of action. Each step you take makes it smaller and your belief stronger. Hill shared stories of people who turned failures into victories, like Henry Ford, who learned from setbacks to build his automotive empire. Journal your failures as feedback, not defeats, embracing Hill's idea that every adversity carries the seed of an equivalent advantage. In this way, you build resilience, turning what once paralyzed you into a powerful ally. At the core of it all is self-discipline, the foundation Hill stressed for sustaining belief and driving forward. Discipline isn't about fleeting emotions. It's about consistent habits, as Hill demonstrated in his own rise from hardship. He advocated for doing more than paid for, a habit that builds character and turns belief into unbreakable resolve. Start with small positive habits, like daily affirmations or morning reflections, to reinforce your goals and quiet the inner critic. Just as Hill rose through disciplined action, you can make belief a reality by committing to these routines every day. Now, create a clear vision and goals to fuel your motivation, drawing from Hill's formula of desire, faith, and persistence. Pause for a moment and write down your top goal. Make it specific, as Hill advised, then break it into daily steps for steady progress. Using Hill's 13 principles, like autosuggestion and persistence, turn that vision into a roadmap that guides you forward. Take inspiration from real-life examples, like Edwin C. Barnes, who persisted until he partnered with Thomas Edison by acting as if success was already his. So, remember Hill's legacy. Belief isn't passive, it's activated through action, overcoming fear, and disciplined habits, starting right now. Choose one step today and watch your possibilities unfold. Welcome to this journey of transformation, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill. As Hill so profoundly stated, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's the foundation for turning your doubts into decisive action. Think about the moments when you've hesitated, allowing fear to hold you back from your true potential. Hill identified these as the 6 ghosts of fear: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death, that whisper lies into your mind. You know that business idea you've been nurturing, but doubts creep in asking, what if it fails? These fears are nothing more than self-imposed barriers, as Hill explained in his groundbreaking work. The need for change is urgent. You can't wait for motivation to strike like lightning. Instead, cultivate belief through autosuggestion, repeating positive affirmations until they become your reality. Hill didn't theorize from afar. He interviewed over 500 successful individuals to uncover the secrets of achievement. So, why do you find yourself stuck, unable to take that first step? Often, it's because you're waiting for the perfect moment of motivation. But as Hill revealed, motivation follows action, not the other way around. Take Andrew Carnegie, for instance. He didn't feel ready when he pursued his steel empire. He acted despite uncertainty. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you waited for that elusive right time? This is the trap of the subconscious mind, as Hill warned, keeping you paralyzed in inaction. Another barrier is the failure to decide, lacking a definite major purpose that Hill championed as essential for progress. Indecision breeds confusion, while clear decisions, like those of Thomas Edison, create unstoppable momentum. Edison didn't waver when inventing the light bulb. He decided, persisted, and turned failure into triumph. Fear and uncertainty amplify these issues, acting as negative autosuggestion that blocks your path. We've all felt that knot in our stomach, but Hill teaches that it's not the fear itself, it's how we respond. Now, let's shift to the solution, embracing the power of immediate action to build unshakable belief. As Hill emphasized, acting even imperfectly creates momentum, reinforcing your faith in what's possible. Draw on his mastermind principle, surround yourself with like-minded individuals, and take that first step today. Try Hill's 30-day mental diet. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones while moving forward. Just as Hill advised, one small action can snowball into massive progress. Don't wait. Create your own motivation. Strengthening decisiveness is key. Make firm decisions to cultivate the definite aim Hill advocated. Start by writing down your decisions and reviewing them daily, turning hesitation into habit. Hill's interviews showed that successful people like Henry Ford practiced decisiveness until it became second nature. Practice the first step right now. Identify one goal and take a simple 5-minute action toward it. Overcoming hesitation and fear is about facing them head on, as Hill believed, through direct engagement. He taught that fear can be transmuted into faith by repeatedly exposing yourself to challenges. Imagine fear as a shadow. Your action is the light that makes it vanish, just as Hill described. Learning from failure is crucial. Hill saw it as a stepping stone, where every adversity carries the seed of advantage. Look at Henry Ford, who turned repeated setbacks into lessons that built his automotive empire. Make it a habit to journal your failures as valuable feedback, fostering the resilience Hill praised. Building self-discipline is the foundation of true belief, as Hill demonstrated through his own rise from poverty. Discipline isn't about fleeting emotions. It's about consistent action, like Hill's habit of doing more than paid for. He rose to success through disciplined steps, proving it's your tool to make belief a tangible reality. Practice positive habits daily, such as affirmations or routine goal setting, inspired by Hill's routines. Start with the morning ritual. Affirm your potential, complete your tasks, and use positive self-talk to fuel your day. Create a clear vision and goals to sustain your belief, as Hill's definite purpose concept demands. Break your dreams into daily actions, using Hill's 13 principles like autosuggestion and persistence, and watch your possibilities unfold. For a real-life example, consider Edwin C. Barnes, who persisted until he partnered with Thomas Edison through sheer belief and action. Barnes visualized success as if it were already his, turning doubt into achievement, just as Hill documented. This blueprint from Hill's legacy shows that your story can be next. Believe and act today. In conclusion, remember that motivation and belief follow disciplined action, as Hill taught so powerfully. His principles prove that the only limitations are those we set in our own minds. So, take that immediate step. Define a goal, face a fear, or build a habit, and commit to it now. Share your progress with our community. Let's inspire each other as believers in unlimited potential. As Napoleon Hill would say, your future is unlimited. Start believing and acting as if anything is possible today. Welcome to this journey of transformation, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill. In his groundbreaking book Think and Grow Rich, Hill reminds us that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. This isn't just motivational fluff. It's a proven principle from Hill's interviews with over 500 successful individuals. Today, we're diving deep into why doubt holds you back and how to shatter those chains. Picture yourself at a crossroads, hesitating because fear whispers in your ear. Hill calls this the six ghosts of fear: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death that cloud your belief. You felt it, that business idea gathering dust because you're afraid it might fail. But Hill teaches that waiting for the perfect moment is a trap of the subconscious mind. Let's explore why you don't take action, starting with the myth of needing to feel motivated first. Hill observed in Andrew Carnegie's story that true titans act despite uncertainty, building empires through sheer persistence. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you waited for inspiration to strike? It's a cycle Hill warns against. Indecision breeds more doubt, paralyzing your progress. Enter Hill's concept of a definite major purpose, a clear decision that cuts through the fog of hesitation. Think of Thomas Edison, who didn't waver when inventing the light bulb. He decided and persisted until success arrived. Fear of failure isn't your enemy, it's how you respond to it that matters, as Hill explained in his chapter on fear. These fears are just negative autosuggestions, planting seeds of doubt where belief should grow. We've all experienced that knot in our stomach, but Hill shows it's conquerable through applied faith. Now, shift gears to the solution, taking immediate action as your bridge to possibility. Hill's mastermind principle teaches that collaboration and quick steps amplify your belief exponentially. Don't wait for motivation, create it by starting small, just as Hill advised in his 30-day mental diet. One small action today can snowball into unstoppable progress, turning hesitation into momentum. Strengthen your decisiveness by making firm decisions, a habit Hill practiced and preached. Write down your decisions and review them daily, building the clarity that Hill's successful interviewees mastered. Remember, decisiveness isn't innate. It's a skill honed through repetition, as Hill discovered. Practice the first step right now. Email that mentor or jot down that idea. Embracing Hill's going the extra mile philosophy. Overcoming hesitation means facing fear head on, just as Hill advocated for transmuting fear into faith. Imagine fear as a shadow. Your action is the light that makes it vanish, a vivid lesson from Hill's teachings. Through repeated exposure, you build resilience, turning what once scared you into a stepping stone. Learning from failure is key. Hill believed that every adversity carries the seed of an equivalent advantage. Take Henry Ford, who turned repeated setbacks into the foundation of his automotive empire, as Hill documented. Journal your failures as feedback, not defeats, fostering the persistence Hill championed. Now, build self-discipline as the bedrock of your belief, drawing from Hill's own rise from poverty. Discipline isn't about fleeting emotions. It's the habit of doing more than required, as Hill exemplified. Hill's habit of doing more than paid for transformed ordinary efforts into extraordinary results. Start with small disciplines. Wake up early for reflection, complete your daily tasks, and use positive self-talk. Just as Hill recommended, a morning ritual of affirming your potential can turn belief into reality. These habits compound over time, creating the momentum that Hill's principles promise. Create a clear vision and goals to fuel your motivation, aligning with Hill's formula of desire, faith, and persistence. Without definite goals, belief wanders aimlessly. Hill's definite purpose gives it direction. Pause now and write your top goal. Make it specific, as Hill would advise, to make it achievable. Break it into actionable steps using Hill's 13 principles, like autosuggestion and persistence. For example, Hill committed to interviewing success stories step by step, turning his vision into a legacy. Let me share a real-life example to inspire you. Edwin C. Barnes, who partnered with Thomas Edison through sheer belief and action. Barnes visualized success as if it was already his, overcoming doubt until opportunity knocked, as Hill recounted. This story isn't just history, it's a blueprint for you to act on your dreams today. Your story can mirror theirs. Believe, decide, and persist, just as Hill urged. In conclusion, remember that motivation follows action, not the other way around, as Hill's legacy proves. Belief isn't passive. It's activated through disciplined steps and overcoming fear, unlocking unlimited potential. So, take that first step now. Define a goal, face a fear, or build a habit, and share your progress to inspire others. Welcome to this journey of transformation, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill. As Hill profoundly stated, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's the cornerstone of turning your dreams into reality. Today, we're diving deep into why so many people hesitate and how you can break free from that cycle. Picture yourself held back by doubts and fears, those invisible chains that Hill called the 6 ghosts of fear. Poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. These are the barriers that creep into your mind. You know that feeling when you want to start a business, but a voice inside whispers, "What if it fails?" That's the disbelief Hill warned against, and it's what keeps you stuck in inaction. But here's the truth. Waiting for the perfect moment is a trap of the subconscious mind. Hill taught that action fuels belief, not the other way around. Through his interviews with over 500 successful individuals, he proved that progress begins with deliberate steps. So, let's explore why you might be holding back and how to cultivate that unshakable belief. Often, we wait for motivation to strike before we act, but as Hill pointed out, motivation follows action. Think about Andrew Carnegie, who didn't wait for certainty, he acted on his ideas and built an empire. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you were waiting for the perfect moment? Hill calls this a self-imposed limitation, a product of doubt that paralyzes your potential. Indecision is another thief of progress, stemming from a lack of definite purpose. Hill emphasized that a clear decision creates clarity and momentum in your life. Just like Thomas Edison, who decided to persist through thousands of failures, you must choose your path firmly. Fear and uncertainty amplify these issues, acting as negative autosuggestions that block your belief. We've all felt that knot in our stomach, that hesitation before a big step. But Hill teaches that it's not the fear itself, it's how we respond to it that defines our success. Now, shift your focus to the solution, taking immediate action to build that powerful belief. The power of action lies in its ability to create momentum, just as Hill's mastermind principle suggests. By collaborating and moving forward, even imperfectly, you reinforce your faith in what's possible. Try Hill's 30-day mental diet. Replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations while taking daily steps. Remember, one small action today can snowball into massive progress. Don't wait for motivation. Create it. Strengthening decisiveness starts with making firm decisions, as Hill advocated in his teachings. Write down your decisions and review them daily to build that definite aim. Hill discovered through his interviews that successful people practiced decisiveness until it became second nature. Now, practice the first step. Identify one goal and take a simple action toward it right now. Email a mentor, jot down an idea, or set a deadline. That's how you embody Hill's philosophy of going the extra mile. Overcoming hesitation and fear is about facing them head on, as Hill advised. He believed that fear is transmuted into faith through repeated exposure and action. Imagine fear as a shadow. Your action is the light that makes it vanish. Take a moment to visualize yourself confronting that fear. It's the first step to dissolving it. Learning from failure is key, as Hill noted that every adversity carries the seed of an equivalent advantage. Look at Henry Ford, who turned his setbacks into lessons that propelled him to automotive greatness. Start journaling your failures as feedback, a Hill-inspired practice that fosters resilience and growth. Build self-discipline as the foundation of your belief, drawing from Hill's emphasis on habits and persistence. Discipline isn't about fleeting emotions. It's the steady force that drives you forward, as Hill demonstrated in his own life. He rose from poverty through disciplined action, proving that it's your tool to make belief a reality. Practice positive habits like daily affirmations or routine goal setting to align with Hill's routines. Wake up early for reflection, complete your tasks without fail, and use positive self-talk to reprogram your mind. Just as Hill recommended, these habits turn belief into consistent action. Create a clear vision and goals to fuel your motivation, as per Hill's concept of definite purpose. He outlines success as a blend of desire, faith, and persistence. Your goals are the roadmap. Pause right now and write down your top goal, making it specific and actionable, just as Hill would advise. Break it into daily steps, incorporating his 13 principles like autosuggestion and persistence. For instance, turn your dream into a plan. Daily actions that build toward that vision. Let me share a real-life example to inspire you, straight from Hill's stories. Take Edwin C. Barnes, who persisted in partnering with Thomas Edison despite repeated rejections. Barnes visualized success and acted as if it was already his, turning hesitation into achievement. Hill documented how this belief and decisive action manifested his goals, proving it's possible for anyone. Your story can be next. Use this as a blueprint to believe and act today. In conclusion, remember that motivation and belief follow action, as Hill so powerfully taught. Acting as if anything is possible unlocks your unlimited potential, overcoming fear and building discipline. Hill's legacy reminds us that the only limitation is one we set in our own minds. So, right now, choose one action, define a goal, face a fear, or build a habit, and commit to it fully. Share your progress in the comments. Let's create a community of believers, just as Hill envisioned.